We are now going to break it all down a bit more and joined by via Zoom by Eric Mandel, the founder and director of the Middle East Political Information Network and the senior editor for Security Jerusalem Report. Thank you for being here. A lot of news this weekend. It seems that there's a bridge proposal, people coming back frustrated. Is it going to be 11 hostages? Is it going to be 5? So what could you tell us, and what do you think as a potential compromise may be found?
So thank you for having me, Emily. I think for context, I think we have to realize that every extra day of negotiations is a Hamas win, a Hamas victory. They're paying no price since the ceasefire ended. And what they are doing is they're getting a chance to rearm. However, negotiations have to continue to satisfy both President Trump and Special Envoy Witkoff, and really the Israeli families that everything is being done. Witkoff says Hamas has offered impractical demands. Their demands, just to reiterate, are release of many more terrorists. Just to give you an idea, in the phase 1, they've already had 1,900 Palestinian terrorists released, 270 with blood on their hands serving life sentences. So Hamas wants release of more terrorists, go right to the second phase, a guarantee of a permanent ceasefire, and leaving the Philadelphia corridor. So these are kind of non-starters. I think what is going on is they're trying to get as much time because they will never give up all the hostages. It's their primary leverage. And that means Israel will have to go back and start a military operation, and they will probably delay again, but will they be able to manipulate Witkoff and the president? And will Bibi need to show the Israeli people that he's gone to the nth degree to release these hostages? I do agree with the hostage families. I think the negotiation should be about all of the hostages, because I think you're guaranteeing, if without that you're going to leave some to perish, and who knows where they'll end up.
So yes, with the the asking, of course, for all of the hostages. I mean, what would be that turning point if these conversations continue to be stalled, that would give a reason to have to go back in and start the war again?
So if there are hostages remaining, Israel cannot go to a phase 2. Israel maybe cannot allow Hamas to stay. I'd written pieces for both American and Israeli papers saying, is it possible that there is a quid pro quo behind the scenes between President Trump and Netanyahu saying, okay, let Hamas stay for a period of time, and what we'll give you in exchange is we'll work with you on Iran, on Saudi normalization. Nobody knows what really goes on behind the scenes, but it does seem that Israel is going to have to go back with a military operation. But to get the Israeli people on board, the Netanyahu is going to have to be perceived that he's really done everything possible to get every hostage. So right now you're playing Russian roulette. Which of those hostages are going to come out? We're now dealing with the male Israeli soldiers that were captured. And so if some come out, we heard Netanyahu claims it's 11 living hostages as a bridging proposal. Witkoff now says it's 5. Mm-hmm. So we really don't know what the numbers are. They're being negotiated. They're playing a game of what's going on here. But I think we really need to know that if Witkoff really does have a deadline here, that's what it is. And what does that mean? And what does consequences mean? Because you know that if a deadline is really happening and Israel calls up its divisions to be right at the Gaza border and we start, Hamas is going to offer something and string it along even longer. Time is on Hamas's side. Mm-hmm.
But with that said, if Israel has to go back in, we have a different president now, so it would also, I imagine, make whatever the operation is different, having more support for the soldiers from the U.S. with this administration.
I think Hamas is very smart. Evil can be smart. They're manipulating the president. I think sooner or later they will release Eden Alexander so the president can have a victory, release the 4 American hostages who were killed. And so there'll be some victory for the president to have. So they're going to play games here a little bit. I think we should commend Witkoff and the president for not accepting the deal just for the Americans, and that they're tied all together, because otherwise that would really further seal the fate of the living Israeli hostages.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Eric Mandel. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.